What's up? Let me get situated right here. Where's the plug in? Is anything plugged up right there?
Dr. My wife Susan here. We want to show you something. You've seen this guy all over your feed claiming a cutting carbs isn't necessary.
Give me a minute.
One of the biggest fitness myths is when people say carbs make you fat. Carbs don't make you fat. I'm a big donut guy.
Don't eat for long.
I'm a big donut guy.
All right, you're gonna have to turn the volume down on this one. That's gonna mess me up. So my wife is gonna be over here letting me know the questions. I think it'll just go a little bit smoother instead of me having to read through them and that kind of thing. So give me like 1 minute and we'll get started. All right, let me make my post. Yeah, questions right there, and then you can just scroll down. Well, you have to scroll back up to the top. Yeah. Let me stick this on my Instagram right quick. Spray Buddy Live Q&A right now, YouTube. All right. Hope everybody's doing good. Long day again today. I just got in, had to mow the grass right quick. Tammy and I were leaving tomorrow to go back to Philadelphia to take Jax for his next surgery. He's got surgery on Friday. So any time before that happens, you know how it is. I'm not saying it's a vacation, but it's like getting prepared for a vacation. You have to rush, get everything done. So I think we're ready to rock and roll. So let me start by saying this. And answer a couple of, I think it'll be in general questions. The first one is going to be why invest an absurd amount of money, and why go through all the trouble and all the headache and to do something like this. Well, one, I'm a y'all know this. I'm a go-getter. I like for things to. I don't like being stagnant. I like growing, and this is one way I can grow. Y'all know my passion in lawn care is the equipment side of things. I mean, I can make grass green, I can make it grow, and all that kind of stuff. But the passion for me is the equipment, and a more hyper focused area of equipment is the spray side of equipment, pumps and plumbing and fittings and pressures and volume and just anything and everything you can talk about with spray equipment. That's my thing. And you know, I've been doing this 20 years. Been on YouTube. How long have we been on YouTube? 5, 6, 7 years, 6 years maybe. And I've been showing homeowners and whoever else wants, not just homeowners, just people, how I do my day-to-day things, how I take care of my yard and all. And, you know, we've had backpack sprayers on the website and showing you those in videos for a long time. And I just had the crazy idea. Well, not crazy. I think I had a good idea. Why not? There's a gap. If you got backpack sprayers over here that most homeowners use, and then you got this big wide gap, and then you get over here to professional lawn care equipment, high volume type spray, and just better ways to apply products. Why can't we marry the two and put the two together? No homeowner that I know of in their right mind is going to go out there and buy a $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 skid sprayer to stick it in their garage and spray their yard with it. It's just not likely to happen. But somebody will invest a little bit more than a backpack sprayer, and of course that's all relative to, and take a skid sprayer and stick it in your condense it down. That was the whole idea and the concept, was take a skid sprayer, condense it down, and hang it on the wall in your garage, or put it on a small cart and roll it around so you can roll it around your driveway and that kind of thing. So I felt the need. That's the why behind all of it. Is I felt the need that homeowners would benefit tremendously from having a commercially built. And when I say when I use the words commercially built, I'm meaning it's not cheap, and not cheap as in money. I'm talking about the quality, the build quality. Typically, when you buy a commercial grade product, you're buying a higher grade product. It's just like lawnmowers. You can get a commercial grade zero turn, or you can get a homeowner version zero turn. And I'm not knocking on homeowners. It's just that's the way they do it, so that they can make the homeowner version a little less expensive, so that they'll buy it, because they don't need a commercial grade mower to mow 1 yard once a week. It's just not logical. But what I've done is married the two. I've taken a very well built, high quality commercial sprayer, and I've condensed it to be able to hang it on your wall in your garage or in your shed, or there's a post mount option. There's all different kind of options. So that's the why behind it. So let's jump right into here and get into some questions. And let's see, not to hype it up, but I am part of a Facebook group, and let's see, product is going to change the game. Thank you very much, Connor. I believe it is too. It's going to allow a homeowner to spray higher volume of liquid on their yard. Typically, higher volume is going to equal better coverage, meaning you get more material that's going to coat the surface of the leaf blade, meaning going to make your products more effective, in my opinion. Huh? Yeah.
So the first couple of questions I've seen is price point. So you'll probably want to get to that
All right.
later.
All right. So Tammy's going to kind of guide me through these questions right here. You want to do the price point now?
I don't know if you want to do
Okay.
that. Sure.
Price. And this is my
It's been two first. So.
I think this is my first live event, so I don't, this may not flow like it ought to. So if it don't, forgive us. Price point. I did not build and create this thing based on anyone's budget. I didn't call nobody and say, hey, how much would you spend on a sprayer? That was not even in my mind, was to try to limit the sprayer based on a budget. What I did do is I got hooked up with right at 16 manufacturers, all here in America. And that was a big deal to me too. I'll talk about that in a minute. All manufacturers in here in America. And I got set up with them as an OEM. What an OEM is, original equipment manufacturer. That means I can go to the manufacturer, and based on the volume of material that I buy, I can get the absolute best price for that particular component or item. And what I did is I built the sprayer, designed the sprayer, went through multiple prototypes. I can't tell you how many prototypes I went through to get it just right, just perfect. And I'm sure I'll still make some changes in the future to it as I get feedback from people that are using them. But I got set up as the OEM. and I take that pricing, and for each component, I match it up to retail pricing, meaning hours and hours of spending on the internet looking at what the tanks cost. What do other people sell this tank for? What do other people sell this pump for? What do other people sell this hose reel for? And I would my markup on it would either be at that retail pricing or less than that retail pricing. And so when it was all said and done, I had a total price of a product. And again, it wasn't based on a budget of anybody. It was just based on the quality of products that went into making this thing. So you can go to the website right now, GCITurfAcademy.com, go to the homepage, scroll down just a little bit and click on, I think it says Spray Buddies here, and you can click on it, and all the different models are right there on the page. And it's got all the different pricing there. I think it starts at, I think the cheapest model right now is $1,500. I think it goes up to $2,000 for the most expensive model. So again, I didn't build it based on a budget. I built it to meet a need, and I built it the way that if I were to go buy one myself, the things I look for in quality, I built it in that fashion.
Next.
Mm-hmm.
John L. White, flow zone cyclone, 2,500 square foot yard. Is this something I should look into, or should I just keep using that wonderful nozzle you provide in the box?
All right, is this going to take the place of a flow zone or a cyclone or any other backpack sprayer? This gentleman has 2,500 square foot of grass. Obviously, you would want to go with the 5-gallon model, because if you have 2,500 square feet, if you multiply 2.5 times 2, that's five. You need a 5-gallon to spray at 2 gallons per thousand. Now, to answer the question, should you change? That's totally up to you, man. I'm not going to dare try and tell you how to spend your money, but I will say that it will allow you to. And that's a hard question for a 2,500 square foot yard, because you can fill up a backpack sprayer and you can go spray your 2,500 square feet and go put it up and you're done, and you ain't spent any more money. Okay, if I'm being completely honest with you, the only advantage you would get with owning one is you wouldn't have to tote around a backpack sprayer. You would be able to do it with a hose, and the hose is considerably lighter than a garden hose. It ain't even remotely close. So small yards, it might not be the greatest option in the world, but I did put the 5-gallon option on there just because, hey, it's a totally different way of spraying. You might want to, be able to drag the hose around and spray your grass and roll it up and have a cool sprayer on the wall. But again, I can't tell you one way or the other a definite, just because of the size of your yard. Tammy had a good point. Somebody with back problems. And here's a great example. I went to my buddy Jeff up in West Virginia, in Beckley. I took him a 10-gallon model. He's got a 5,000 square foot yard. And Jeff has had some problems with his back. And when he fills up his backpack sprayer, he can only put a little bit of product in that thing and tote it, spray a little portion of his yard, come back, do it again, because he can't physically carry that much weight on his back no more because his back hurts. And so for somebody like that, or someone elderly that maybe can't handle a backpack sprayer, it's a daggone dream come true. Because I mean, the hose will blow you away. It's a super, super lightweight hose. So hopefully that answers your question, sir.
Any new GCI turf merch coming?
Any GCI turf merch coming? What do you mean merch?
Shirts.
Like shirts and hats. I got a Baby Yoda shirt. Yeah, we do. We need some new shirts. It's on the list to do. So yeah, we'll try to.
Mike, which type of fertilizer is more cost effective, granular or liquid?
I think it depends on, and I'm going to answer this one question about this fertilizer cost effective, and then we're going to revert right back. This is specifically for Spray Buddy. I'm not going to answer any other questions. Tammy's just going to skip them. So if you don't have a Spray Buddy question, just don't waste your time. I don't want to waste your time, so don't answer it. But which one's more cost effective, granular or liquid? I think for our business, our company, it depends on the volume we're able to buy in a particular product. All of our liquids we buy in totes now. And for me, depending on the way your lawn care program is set up, liquid typically tends to come out cheaper for us. It's actually, and it's not, I'm not comparing the cost of a bag of fertilizer versus the cost of a jug of fertilizer liquid. I'm not comparing that cost. I'm comparing what does it cost me to apply that product. Granular, we have to spread it. If we got weeds, we have to spot spray the weeds. So that's a second part of that one application. Then you have to get off the spreader and get your backpack sprayer and backpack blower and blow the fertilizer off all hard surface areas because you don't want to leave that on driveway. So that's 3 steps I have to do to apply a granular. A liquid, I mix it, go spray, burn the road up. So that I don't necessarily look at the cost of the bag of granular or the jug of liquid. I look at the whole procedure in applying it and mixing it and everything, and my time spent doing all that stuff. And I've gotten the efficiency part nailed down as far as liquids go. Well, we can mix 2,500 gallons, and it takes me about 25-ish minutes, 35 minutes maybe. I know I'm rambling. So that's my answer to that question. Next question.
When will the 110 volt model be available?
The 110 volt models were ordered today. And some of these manufacturers are just, they're still backed up from the whole COVID. And I reckon, I don't know what it is, but I think that's why it's all backed up and jacked up. But some of them are still slow to get stuff out. So the 110 volts are, I'm going to say, about 2 to 3 weeks out. And once they're in my possession and we have them to make an option on a product page to whether to check battery option or 110 volt option, it'll be on there. And I'll say something on YouTube or make an Instagram post or send out an email, or I'll let everybody know one way or the other. And the cost difference it'll be a little bit of cost difference, but it's not going to be much. And I think it'll actually end up being a touch cheaper for the 110 volt option.
And that just answered Addison Davis's question. So is the pump battery operated or manually pumped? So it's battery.
Yes, it's bad. The versions on the website now are all battery, 20 volt rechargeable battery. You get it's a really big pump on there, a little over 5 gallon a minute, 100 psi, and it takes a lot of energy to run a pump that size. So you get roughly 23-ish minutes of runtime if it's fully charged. But for me, I can spray my 15,000 square foot yard in 10, 12 minutes. So I could actually spray it twice if I wanted to. So the batteries last more than long enough. But this project actually started off with the 110 volt option. That was my first go-to. And my thought process is why I got away from that is people ain't gonna want to plug a pump into their wall. I just thought that was kind of weird. And I think everybody wants battery stuff now. So go battery. Now Mike has brought it back up and said, dude, you need to offer the 110 volt because that's continuous runtime. So you can mix as long as you want. You can take as long as you want spraying and all that. So we're going to add the 110 volt option here very, very soon. Like I said, the pumps have been ordered. I'm just waiting on them to show up.
G Grip wants to know if there's a wagon option.
Mr. Grip, the wagon option. I need to go out, and I was just talking to Jordan with Lawn Tools today, and he showed me the Gorilla cart. I'm gonna buy a Gorilla cart, and I'm gonna buy a couple of other wagons that are, you know, more popular. And the 20-gallon cart buddy, I have absolutely no doubt will fit in a wagon, no doubt whatsoever. The cart buddy is a pretty tight and compact thing. That's another thing. I don't have dimensions on the website. When we get up to Philly and we're settled in and chill, I'm gonna go on the website and work and fine tune some of the product pages and put some of the dimensions on there. But just off the top of my head, the 20-gallon cart buddy is maybe 24 inches long, roughly, maybe 30, 24 to 30 long, and it's probably 16 inches wide and maybe 16 inches tall. The frame and tank, and then the hose reel sets up on top of it. So I have no doubt it'll fit in most all carts that are out there. At least, you know, a cart that's a decent size anyway.
Neil White, what size yard is the spray buddy for?
All right, Neil said, "What size yard is the spray buddy for?" Right now, the biggest option I have is 20-gallon. All right, if you want to spray it 1 gallon per 1,000, that means you can cover a 20,000 square foot yard. The 20-gallon option with the 3/8 inch hose is 250 foot of 3/8 inch hose. That should be a gracious plenty to cover from wherever you mount it, or if you have the cart buddy. The cart buddy's a 20-gallon. The 20-gallon spray buddy and the cart buddy are identical, except the spray buddy the 20-gallon spray buddy sits against your wall, and the hose reel is mounted on the wall right above it. The cart buddy, the tank is in a frame that I designed and have made, and the hose reel sits on top of it. And the casters are made in Ohio, made in the USA. I love that. And they're extremely heavy duty. They're 4-inch casters. They're really big. All four have locking tabs on them where you can lock it when you pull the hose out, and you lock it when you wind your hose back in. So the 20-gallon can cover a 20,000 square foot yard at 1 gallon per 1,000, or if you prefer to spray it 2 gallon per 1,000, you can cover a 10,000 square foot yard. So it's just basic math here. Whether you want to spray it 1 gallon or 2 gallon, then you have to figure out your hose length, how long of a hose you need, and then kind of pick the model that fits your specific need.
Ian Maskell wants to know, can we see it?
Yeah, it's all over the website, Ian. Go to the website. It's live. Me and him's been working on that a little bit today, and I worked on it a whole lot. Just go to the home page, GCITurfAcademy.com, scroll down and hit the spray buddy button, and it'll take you right to it, man. And you can look. There are some live pictures on there of some of the models, and a lot of the models is just like the CAD drawings. I just ain't had time to get pictures of all the stuff and update the website.
Another guess, hey Pete, will the spray buddy work together with GCI turf injection, or are they two separate parts?
Yes, the spray buddy and injection are two different products. Okay, the injector is just a simple injection fitting that's got stainless steel couplers. You hook to your garden hose when you're watering. And what makes it a little different and unique is you use a battery-powered backpack sprayer, and you hook that to the fitting, and you pump your material from the backpack sprayer into the injector, and that goes into the flow of water while it's watering the grass. Spray buddy is no different. You plug it right into the injector and do the exact same thing, and the only difference is you can put more product in the spray tank on the spray buddy, because the tank's bigger than a backpack sprayer tank.
Josh Farley wants to know, will it work with a backpack sprayer?
Josh said, will it work with a backpack sprayer? No, sir, it won't. Let me say this: the mix buddy. There's two options for what I'm calling the mix buddy. these two options don't cost as much as the spray buddy or the cart buddy. A lot of buddies, right? And that's going to be for the person that has a bigger yard, that has to mix multiple times in a backpack sprayer. You can have a 15-gallon tank on the wall. You can mix all your material, fill it up, and it'll have a valve at the bottom. You can just open it up and fill up your backpack sprayer, go spray a portion of the yard, come back, open backpack sprayer, open the valve, fill up the backpack sprayer. That way you don't have to spend multiple times mixing, because it's just like a pre-mix station. And they've got one that just mounts on the wall and you use a drill bit, the little drill mixer, to mix your products. And then I've got a second option that has the pump and the agitation system already on it. So you just turn the power on, start pouring your stuff in there, and it mixes it up for you. And the same thing, a valve at the bottom. So that way it works with a backpack sprayer. Other than that, it's not. And that's a good way to look at it. You know, a backpack sprayer has a tank, has a pump, has a battery, and has a hose and a gun. Spray Buddy is a backpack sprayer on steroids, like on a lot of steroids, because your tank's bigger, your pump's bigger, your hose is longer, your spray guns are much higher quality. So you can look at it as either a backpack sprayer on steroids or a small condensed version of a commercial skid sprayer. I'm right in the middle right there with this.
Jason wants to know, is a portable version going to be offered? And then he says hand truck mounted.
Hand truck mounted? I never really thought about a hand truck mount. I don't know. You have to comment on that and say what kind of application would you be making using a hand truck. I'm not following you on that, and just to be honest. But you did say, is it mobile? Over winter, this is so cool, and I cannot wait to show you this. I've already got the drawings done. The CADs are done. I simply need time to get the prototypes made and do some testing and all that. But we're going to have a ROPS model, okay? You know, commercial mowers or homeowner mowers, you know, the ROPS, the roll bar that goes over top of you, the Ventrac has got a ROPS on it. Toro Multi-Pro has a ROPS on it. Anything with a ROPS, you'll be able to mount. I'm not sure which model it's going to be. It's going to be the 5 or the 10-gallon. You know, when you get on up into 15 and 20, that's a lot of weight going on a ROPS. So I'm not trying to get anybody hurt. So it'll either be the 5 or the 10-gallon, and you'll be able to mount it to your zero-turn mower, you know, like right here on the ROPS. And you'll be able to flick it on and off, and you'll have a spray boom or boom-less nozzle, so you can use your mower for that or anything. My original thought on that was to use it with my Ventrac. But the design of the ROPS mount is to where it'll mount to any machine that has a ROPS system on it. And then after that, we're going into stand-on mowers, where the system will mount out front on the casters. I've got all this stuff drawn up, ready to go. It's just, it ain't so many hours in a day. I can't go but so fast. So,
Tech Explorer wants to know, does the cart have a handle?
Does the cart have a handle? That's a great question, and the answer to that's no, it does not. The way that we pre-assemble a lot of this at the office, and the hose reel, if I'm 6'1", if I'm standing up and I just relax my hands straight down, the top of the hose reel is right there. Okay. It's, gosh, I don't have a measurement with me, but I'm 6'1". If I hold my hands straight down, I can touch the hose reel, and that's the way you push it around your driveway or your carport or your garage or your shop or whatever. And it pushes extremely easy, whether it's full or whether it's completely empty.
And we thought about a handle.
Mm-hmm.
It was thought about.
Yeah, we thought about a handle, but it
was a little cumbersome.
It was a little cumbersome, and it added a little cost to it and all that. And look, the 20-gallon, the cart buddy is compact. It is tight. There is very little tolerance. If you buy one and you try to put the tank in, you'll see how tight it is. Or if you try to take the tank out, I mean, the tolerances are super tight on it to keep it as compact as we could so it wouldn't take up space in a garage, and for shipping reasons. The bigger the package, the more the shipping costs. So I kept everything as compact as I can. But we thought about a handle, but I honestly don't think I don't think you need a handle. I really don't.
Ian wants to know what's the biggest difference between the 3/8 and the 1/2-inch hose in your vision.
All right, 3/8 and 1/2-inch hose difference. The only real difference, now I'm talking strictly Spray Buddy. I'm not talking about Kappa 43s and Udor, high pressure pump. I'm not talking about any of that. This ain't general conversation. This is Spray Buddy only, with the pump that comes with it, the 5.3 gallon, 100 psi. It's easier to get 2 gallon per thousand with 1/2-inch hose. It's just easier because there's less strain on the pump, or the pump doesn't have to work as hard to push it because it's a bigger hose. It's just common sense. If you got a smaller hose and you're trying to push X amount of material through that hose, if you open the hose up a little bit, it's just easier to push that same amount of material through. So that's really the only difference. You can still spray at 2 gallon per thousand with the 3/8-inch hose. It's strictly based on your walking speed. If you walk a certain pace with the 3/8-inch hose, and you've got it calibrated at 1 gallon per thousand, and you're walking that pace, you simply slow down your walk a little bit to spray at 2 gallon per thousand. That's really the only difference. The 1/2-inch just makes it a little easier. And the reason this started off 3/8 only, it was going to be strictly 3/8 inch, but I added the 1/2-inch option for a select group of people. In my mind, I was thinking people that have 10,000 square foot yards, somewhere in that range, they can get the 20 gallon, and 10,000 square foot yard comes with 200 foot of 1/2-inch hose. And that's a gracious amount of hose to cover that area. And I just thought that would just make it easier on the applicator, or the homeowner, to spray at 2 gallon per thousand. So that's why I added the 1/2-inch hose option. Hopefully that answers that question.
Tech Explorer is 1/2-inch, 200 foot hose, heavy to low around.
Mike, why don't you answer that? Find that question. He asked, was 1/2-inch, 200 foot of 1/2-inch hose heavy to lug around? My answer is going to be no. I mean, now I'm 6'1", 250. I've been dragging hose for a long time, and dragging hose don't bother me one bit. Jacob's in here, one of my employees. He's been dragging hose for a long time. It don't bother him one bit. To someone that's brand new to dragging hose around your yard, at first, this is what Mike told me out of his mouth. At first, it was a little cumbersome, a little difficult. But once he gets a pattern down, and once he figures out a system, and that's called hose management, and I'll do some more YouTube videos on hose management, because once you think about it and put the little common sense to it on which way to drag the hose and how to turn with the hose in your hand, dragging hose becomes a breeze. The physical weight of the 1/2-inch hose, it ain't nothing, man. It really does not weigh a lot. If I'm comparing it to a garden hose, I don't know how to put that in a number. 50% less heavy, I guess, would be a good way to word that. 60% less heavy than a garden hose. It's super ultralight spray hose. The hose is rated for 300 psi. It's not like the commercial grade spray hose that you would get on, let's say, if you went out and bought a Udor pump with a whatever reel, and 600 psi spray hose typically has a plastic, not plastic, but some type of material coating around it. It makes it real kind of stiff and rigid at first. Of course, they break in, but those hoses are a little bit heavier. The physical weight of them is a little bit heavier because they're made differently. they've got more meat on the bone, I guess is a good way to say that. But this hose, I don't need something that sprays that can handle 600 psi, because the pump is only goes up to 100 psi. So I went overkill, and we got a 300 psi hose that's super pliable, very, very flexible, and super, super lightweight.
Neil White is looking at the Spray Buddy 10-gallon. Is the installation easy or hard?
All right, Neil. By the way, let me give some props right here. Your boy Neil over here in the comments. If I'm talking to the right Neil, do y'all remember the GCI turf, the Blue Heat field when I done the Wolf Ball field back here? You know that big, pretty, nice, clean logo. I think that's the same Neil White. He's the guy that helped me make the logo. He's bad to the bone. So hats off to you, sir. To answer your question, dude, I put so many of these together in prototypes. I can personally take one out of the box, assemble it, and hang it on the wall in around 16 to 19 minutes, roughly. I can do it less than 20 minutes, the entire process. Someone that is mechanically inclined and knows how to run an impact wrench and sockets and wrenches, 30, 40 minutes maybe, you can probably put one together. Someone that's not mechanically inclined, you'd probably take you about an hour or so. If you make a purchase, you get the email confirmation, like with any other thing you buy on the internet, and there's a PDF in there and a link, and you hit the little link thing, and it takes you to a video, and I show you step by step the entire process of putting it together. The Spray Buddy training video is like an hour long. So I put a whole lot of time into that to make sure I went over every single last little detail to help you out. And of course, if you get stumped, you email us or call us at Dolphus. And if I'm there, I'll jump on the phone, and I know every little part of this thing inside and out because I've been messing with it for so long now. So the installation is not difficult.
Keith Shoemaker, he may have missed this earlier. Will this work on a Lesco backpack sprayer? He's got 12,500 square feet.
All right. Shoemaker asked, will this work on a Lesco backpack sprayer? Is that what he's saying? Okay. No. I'm not following you. This Spray Buddy does not work side by side with a backpack sprayer. It is a way for you to take your backpack sprayer and put it in the corner and up your spray game, make your spray game more enjoyable, make it easier, make it less time consuming, make it to where you can apply more products in the tank at one time, spray at higher volumes, take your drill bit, your little mixing drill bit, you can lay it on the shelf because you don't need that anymore. The Spray Buddy has built-in agitation. So while you're mixing your material, the agitation is just rolling, rumbling. It uses an eductor style agitation. So as the force is pushing the liquid through the eductor, it's also pulling it into the eductor. And so you're getting a swirl type agitation, and you're also getting the force of the pump pushing through the nozzle of the eductor. So it's not a backpack sprayer. It's light years beyond a backpack sprayer. It's a backpack sprayer on steroids that you don't have to tote around. I think. I wonder if he meant the Let's Go Ride on a spreader. Okay, next question. Hope that helps.
I think Jack Turner has sticker shock. He said, "Dang, you can buy a cheap riding mower and a nice Toby Hines sprayer for that."
Zach, you got to look like you got sticker shock, bro.
He's got a cool name.
Oh, your name is Jax.
He's got a cool name.
Oh, that's the name of my boy. Hey, great name, man. By the way, you can buy a mower and something. What else did you say?
He said a cheap riding mower and a nice Toby Hines sprayer.
A nice Toby Hines sprayer and a cheap riding mower. You're exactly right. And if that's what you prefer to spend your money on, by all means, go do it. You have my support and my respect 100% of the time. like I said, I didn't build this to meet a budget. If I wanted to build it to meet a certain price point or budget, I would have called China and we'd have made it in China. But I'm not about that. I'm going to support American business, period. The only time you'll ever catch me buying something across the water is if I absolutely have to. If I just cannot buy it anywhere in America and it be a reasonable price, I guess. I'm 100% about American manufacturing. I'm 100% about taking care of America first. And everything in this spray buddy except a handful of parts that I could not get in America at a reasonable price. Here's an example. The hose end fittings that come on them are brass. Okay, everything else is stainless steel, but the two hose end fittings are brass. There was one company, maybe two companies in America that made those fittings. The brass ones I paid $10 for a piece for them. The stainless steel ones were like $59 a piece to get them here in America. That was one of the handful of fittings that I had to go elsewhere and get them. But you buy American made, typically you're going to pay a little bit more for that product, and you're going to get a much higher quality. It's been my experience that way. So I apologize on the pricing. It is what it is.
Monkey's Lawn Care said he's got 60,000 square feet now, spraying at half a gallon per thousand. Higher volume will be nice.
Monkey's Lawn Care, 60,000 square feet. Brother, I got you covered. The 50-gallon model is right around the corner. Got my text today. The prototype come back, and they had to change a couple of things on the frame on the prototype. But the 50-gallon model would be for you. Now, let me say this: 60,000 square feet. I ain't sure I'd want to drag a hose around 60,000 square feet. I'll just be completely honest with you. You would probably be more suited toward one of the mobile units. I'm assuming you mow 60,000 square feet with some type of a riding mower. I'm assuming right here. So all that options will come out over the winter time when I get a little more time to get the prototypes dialed in and all. So those would be mobile options, and that would probably fit you better. But I can't in good conscience, I can't recommend you drag hose over 60,000 square feet every time you spray. I can't do it.
Tech Explorer wants you to repeat the questions because they can't hear the questions when I'm talking.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll repeat the questions a little louder.
Neil White, is the spray buddy better for biostems, and could I use products like prodiamine?
All right. Neil White said, is the spray buddy good for prodiamine? I'm assuming we'll just say wettable powders and biostimulants. Brother, if there's a lawn care product on the market, liquid, I don't care which one it is, you name it, you go to Google and you Google liquid lawn care, and every single product that's on that page and the other 100 Google pages can go in the spray buddy and be sprayed efficiently, effectively, and work like a champion. It's not like an injection system where things have to be metered in correctly. Okay. That's why you'll hear us. That's why you'll hear me say, don't use like a hose end sprayer on these chemicals and stuff, because some of that metering isn't accurate enough for that. Well, if I have a tank and I have a solution that is in solution that is all mixed up together, and you go out and spray it all at one time while it's all mixed up, there's no harm in that. We've been doing it for years. You see these guys riding in the road with these big spray trucks and these tanks. That's the exact thing they're doing, is they're putting pre-emergent, post-emergent, bios, NPK, hydrotane, whatever. You just name the liquid, and it can all go in that tank and be applied at one time. And of course, I'm not advocating that you go out and mix 30 different biostimulants, because that falls back on your lawn care program. What are you doing for your lawn care program? But yes, pre-emergent prodiamine. Oh man, it's going to be game-changing stuff when you go to spray that.
And Neil also said he's assuming this is not intended to use Roundup in.
Neil, great question. No,
Great point.
great point. If someone buys one, you can use it as you see fit. But I will 100% of the time recommend you not use Roundup in it. Not use Roundup in it. I have a Roundup sprayer over there, and then everything else I put on my yard that's safe for my turf, that I use this sprayer over here.
David Weckler said, can Spray Buddy be mounted to a standard zero turn annual mounts be available? I have a 26-gallon sprayer that needs to be replaced.
Dave said, can it be mounted to a zero turn mower, stand on mower? Those models are coming out over winter. Like I said, the CADs are drawn up. Everything is designed. It's ready to go. It's just, I just personally got to have more time to put into it, to get the prototype here, to play around with it, to mount it, to test it out, make sure it's going to work. But yes, the mobile versions will be out soon.
Jax wants to know, will there be a budget-friendly model released later?
Jax, I love your name, man. we thought our boy was the only person in the world with the name Jax. So wonderful to meet you, sir. Will it be a budget-friendly model later? Okay. This goes back to what I just said. I'm not going across the ocean to make my stuff. I'm not. I don't know what everybody's thoughts is on that, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to support American business before I support anybody else. And then if I can't support American business, I'll go somewhere else. And with that said, typically American made stuff, it just costs more, man. I'm sorry.
But you will, you're gonna have it priced separately.
But for the budget conscious person, what I am going to do is I need a little bit of time to get past this a little flush, and the individual components of every model Spray Buddy will be on the website for sale. And what that would allow you to do is say, month one, maybe I want to buy the tank and the mount. And that's going to be way cheaper than just buying the whole thing at one time. You buy it, stick it in your closet, be patient, be diligent. And then 2 months later, I can go buy the pump and the agitation system. Stick it in your closet, be patient, be diligent. Then I can buy the hose reel and the mount, the hose reel mount. So it will be available like that. I just need some more time to get all this stuff listed on the website. And that way you can buy it piece by, it's kind of like a build your Spray Buddy. And maybe that's what we'll call it on the website. So it kind of stands out by itself, is you can buy it piece by piece by piece. And at the end of the road, you got a full blown Spray Buddy.
Capri wants to know, the short video you put for Agitator, is that for Spray Buddy only, or are you doing for Flow Zone too? I think that's another confusion, and it could have been cleared up with the last.
This gentleman asked, the Agitation video, the short I put of just showing the material stirring up, can it be used on the Flow Zone backpack shredder? No, sir, it can't. This is, y'all got to get the backpack out of your mind, because this ain't a backpack. It ain't got nothing to do with a backpack. It don't work with a backpack. It has no relation to a backpack sprayer. None.
James replied to his question earlier. He said he was confused about the Spray Buddy. He thought it was an attachment for the backpack. It's
not an attachment. It is a sprayer. It is its own self-contained standard. Go to the website and look at it. You'll see the tank. You'll see the pump. You'll see the hose reel. It's a self-contained spray unit. It's just a bigger spray unit than a backpack sprayer, but it's smaller than a commercial grade sprayer like we use in the field. But does the same thing. Does the exact same thing.
Tech wants to know, will we be able to retrofit the 110 volt if we buy the battery version?
Yes, sir. You may. I was super anal about this. The behind the design and the modularity of it and that kind of thing. Everything is retrofittable. I think is that a word? Maybe retrofittable, meaning if you were to get the battery powered option today, right now, and then in a month, oh, Pete's got the 110 volt. You could buy that 110 volt pump, and in a matter of 10 minutes, maybe 6, 8, 9, 10 minutes, you can have it switched over. It's that modular and it's that interchangeable, I guess would be a good way to word that.
Monkey's Lawn Care, is a 300-foot hose possible?
Is a 300-foot hose possible? Yes, sir, it is. And that's coming in the 50-gallon model I was talking about earlier. It will have a larger hose reel than the biggest hose reel I got now. And it will be able to have a 300-foot hose, and there's going to be a different pump available for the 50-gallon. It'll be a much larger, still a plug-in. It won't be battery. It's too big to be battery powered, but you will be able to plug it into the wall. Hang on. With that said, the upgrade is going to be quite a bit more. The pump, I'm just trying to give you as many details as I can, excuse me, so that you make a wise decision. This upgraded pump for the 50-gallon model, it's about a $900 pump just for the pump. So just want to make you aware of that so that you know, just so you can help make your future decisions.
Bobby wants to know how easy it is to rinse out the actual jug so we can apply different applications.
All right. That's a great question, Bobby. How easy is it to rinse out the jug? I'm assuming you're saying the tank, so that you make different applications. Okay, here's my thought process on this. I've been doing it for almost 20 years, and I've yet to have failure. This is one of the reasons I have Roundup tanks over here, and I have turf-friendly tanks over here. I never cross the two. If you go out and spray on a Monday and you spray RGS and humic, let's just pick two, and then you spray all that out, and there's a little tiny bit left in the bottom of the tank, and you want to go out and spray a couple of days later and spray fungicide or whatever. I never rinse that stuff out ever. I just put my next spray in there, because that little bit of product that I sprayed 2 days ago is yard friendly, and what's going in the tank is yard friendly, and neither one of them is going to hurt the yard. They ain't going to do them but help a yard. So I don't ever rinse it out. The only time I rinse it out is over winter, or if I know it's going to be a long period of time before I spray again. That's the only time I rinse it out. Now, if you are hyper anal and you want to mix it out, the pump on the pump side is quick disconnect from the pump. So you pull the tab, pull the filter and hose out, and you would have a mixing cup or a little 5-gallon bucket, and you would let the filter kind of hang down in there because it's still going to be connected to the suction hose. And you simply take your hose pipe, your garden hose, and rinse it out, and it'll flush it right out into the mixing cup, and you go throw that out in the yard.
Neil wants to know, can you talk about the maintenance for the pump and motor?
Maintenance on the pump and motor is just keep it as clean as you can. Don't let it freeze. There's no real specific true maintenance that I know of on this type of a pump. Run some fresh water through it every now and then. Don't let it run dry. I mean, I think you can run these dry for a certain amount of time, but when I get done spraying, I always have a little bit of water or something, and I'll turn the agitation on and just let it build up, and I might have that much water in the bottom of the tank, and let it cycle through the pump and cut it off, and I'll walk away and go eat supper. It's that easy for me.
James Turner wants to know what's the warranty.
The warranties, okay, the overwhelming majority, and I need to get all this on the website. I just ain't had time. The overwhelming majority of every single component in a spray buddy is a 1-year warranty, and their typical warranty from manufacturers, meaning against manufacturer defects, and manufacturer didn't put it together right or something like that. I know that the Hannay reels has like a 3-year warranty. Do not hold me solid to that. I glanced over the email I got because I emailed all the manufacturers and said, I need your warranty so I can put it on my website. And I'm pretty sure the Hannay said something like a 3-year limited warranty. So most of it's a year, and I think the Hannay reel comes with 3 years, which is just phenomenal for a commercial piece of equipment to get 3-year warranty on it.
Joshua Sandlin says, will financing be available?
Will financing be available? No, sir. I don't think we're going to do that. Let me be honest with you. It's just grass. Okay. I don't want you going into any debt to buy something I got. I honestly and truly don't want you doing that. I would much rather you be diligent and save up your money, work hard, save up. And when I do offer it piece by piece by piece, buy individual parts as you can buy them. That's the only kind of, I'm just.
And you looked into it.
And I looked into it. I looked into it, but my conscience just wouldn't let me do it, man. Some of these places wanted to charge the buyer, which would be you, 26% or 24%. I'm just not going to condone that. I'm not going to be a part of that kind of behavior with money. I'm sure you work just as hard for your money as I do for mine. And I prefer to teach and to be smart with it and be wise with it. And I can't, in good conscience, I can't offer financing because I don't want to feel like I've got a product out there that somebody wants so bad that they're willing to pay that amount for the product plus a lot of interest on it. I can't go for that, man. I'd rather offer it to you part by part and let you buy it as you can.
Ian want to know where you're going to sell spare batteries. You may have gotten that already.
Spare batteries are on the website.
Tyler said, what kind of hoses can you use?
You don't need to use a hose. It comes with a hose. He asked what kind of hose can you use. You don't need to. All that's on the web. Go to the website. Look at the thing, man. It's got all the pictures and little details and tells you what it comes with. Yeah, all that stuff's on there, man. It's turnkey. All you gotta do is hang your thing on your wall, or if you get the cart buddy, you gotta put a few little things together, and you can go out and start spraying grass.
Be Good, is the pump and agitator universal regardless of gallon size?
Yes, great question. It's the exact same agitation system on every single one of the Spray Buddy models. So the 20-gallon, obviously, it's going to be slightly less agitation than the 5-gallon model because the tank isn't as big. But at the end of the day, every single model, the agitation rolls. You do not need to be. You will not and do not need to use your drill bit mixer or a paint stirrer or any of that stuff. You just put the stuff in there and turn it on, and you watch it mix.
Let's see, Michael had answered that.
Yeah.
Battery question. Let's see. Langman said, I've got some crazy hills in my yard. What's the max vertical height on the pump?
This guy says he's got crazy heels on his yard. What's the max vertical height on the pump? I don't know. Just to be straight up with you, I have no clue. I will have to look into that. And sir, if you will email me, whoever asked that, what was the guy's name asked that? About the
Langman, Langman.
Langman, Mr. Langman, if you will email me, add me in at help@gciturfacademy.com, and I will save that email. When I get back from Philadelphia, I will check on that and I will email you right back and I'll let you know.
I can't say that name, but anyway, he wants to know if ordering is still only to the Facebook group or if it's like
ordering is wide open now. It's on the website. I gave my Facebook group a couple of days head start on this, and it's live and on the website. Whoever can get it can get it. Say hey to Brooke Carter.
Jake's sister. Oh, Brooke.
Oh, she watching. Brooke, what are you doing, girl? I got one of my buddies watching.
How do you empty the tank on the cart version? Tech Explorer wants to know.
How do you empty the tank on the cart version? All right, here you go. Very important thing for me is a sump, SUMP. That is extremely important to me. Every single spray tank I own has a sump. And if I go to, well, except those Space Savers, they don't, but the ones I built has a sump on it. And a sump, if you have the flat bottom of a tank, or if a tank is rounded, or if a tank is in a V shape, a sump is going to protrude out of the bottom of the tank. That means your material is going to flow and get into that sump so that you don't leave anything in the tank. Okay. The 20-gallon has a sump on it. I was just anal about that. It had to have a sump. If you notice the shape of all the tanks, they're full drain tanks. So you never have anything left over in the tank. I mean, you might have a little bit like that, but I'm talking about anything major. The 20-gallon has a sump, and with this large of a pump on this small of a tank in relation to a skid sprayer, you will get vortexing, meaning when the liquid gets low, the pump begins to create a vortex like that. All right, we went through the trouble and we've put anti-vortex valves in the 20-gallon, so it eliminates the vortexing. So vortexing basically creates a little whirlwind and it's sucking air. And so when you get air and water in your pump and in your hose, it don't spray right. You want nothing but water or liquid going through your hose. And in the 5, 10, and 15-gallon, they actually vortex pretty hard because that's a smaller tank, and it's also already creating a funnel with the shape of the tank. So we had I designed an anti-vortex fitting, and that fitting goes down inside the tank and eliminates the vortex. So to answer your question, how to drain it is exactly like the 5, 10, 15-gallon model. Undo the filter from the pump, and you stick your garden hose in there and rinse it out. And you have a little bucket or something like that to rinse out your stuff in.
James Turner wants to know, did he miss a video on the Spray Buddy?
James Turner, I don't know if you missed anything or not, man. If you missed it, because you ain't subscribed to my channel and you don't get them emails and tells you when I put a video up. Go on the channel, and I think I've got a couple on there. The opening video that my Facebook groups already saw it, but the opening introduction video to Spray Buddy will post tomorrow night at 9:00, and it goes into a little more. It basically, it's a video, but I'm saying everything I'm saying tonight.
Matco Mafia.
Matco, what are you doing, boy?
He may miss this. Do you recommend cleaning tank out every time between uses?
No, I don't do that, man. I don't. If you're a neat freak and you want to keep the tank nice and white and sparkly clean, then yeah, clean it out in between uses. I will say this so that everybody knows, and this is typical. I don't care what kind of spray system you have. This is typical. When you have a tank and a pump and a length of hose, meaning a longer length of hose, You drain the tank out. Your tank is empty. Well, the pump has nothing to pull on, meaning liquid, has no more liquid to pull on to push the liquid out of the hose. Yeah, you can sit there and hold the gun and it'll spit or sputter out a little bit. But if you want to get that material out of the hose, you do it the exact same way we do it on our commercial spray trucks. You put a little bit of water in the tank and you turn the pump on. And you go out in the yard and hit the trigger and it'll spray out. You'll see, let's say you're spraying humic and it's dark color, or if you're spraying clearies and it's white, and then all of a sudden it turns to clear, then you know you're at water again. And then you know you have nothing but water in the hose. So you're good to put it up. But yeah, you can rinse it out every time, but I don't do mine like that.
Joshua wants to know, could he add on hose? He needs more than 150 feet, and if so, will that change the volume output?
Josh said can he add on hose? No, do not. The hose, the 5 gallon model comes with 150 foot of 3/8, and the 10 gallon comes with 200 foot of 3/8, and the 15 comes with 250 of 3/8. 10 gallon comes with 140 half, and 15 gallon model comes with 200 half. You look on the website and double check me. I think that's right. You cannot add more hose to the end of the hose because the hose reel is full and the hose reel mounts almost flush against the wall. I'm talking that far off the wall by design to make it compact. And once you wind the hose up on there, you can't put any more on it because if you wind it, the hose will hit your wall and the hose reel won't turn. So you cannot add hose onto it. If you need longer hose, you can bump up to the next tank size. Because I think between the 5, 10, and 15 gallon models, there's just a little bit of price difference. It ain't a whole lot of price difference in between them. It jumps up with the 20 gallon for obvious reasons, but it doesn't jump up that bad between the 5 and the 15. So you could just have a little extra volume in your tank just because you have a 15 gallon tank and a 6,000 square foot yard, and you want to spray it 2 gallon per 1,000. Well, that means you need 12 gallon of finished solution. You don't have to put 15 gallons in it. You don't have to do that. So I would recommend, if you're looking at one seriously and you think the hose lengths that are offered now are almost long enough that it'll work, but not quite long enough, you just need to jump up to the next model where you can get you a longer hose length. We might offer custom hose length in the future. It's maybe it's a whole lot of work involved in that. Next, yeah.
David Weckler says, will there be a 12-volt version or adapter for the stand-on mower version?
That's the only way it'll be, because you don't haul a drop cord. He asked, would it be a 12 a battery powered? It's a 20-volt battery power, not 12. For a stand-on mower, of course, you can't hook a drop cord up and drag a drop cord around the yard. And I'm not being funny. I'm just saying you can't. And that'll be the only way the mobile versions are offered, is in battery powered.
Brad answered this question, but you might want to add to it. Fabrone said the permanent mounting I'm not a fan of. I don't have a garage and my shed is too far from a water source, and the cart model looks like it can only roll on a concrete floor. So Brad was telling there's a post mount option and it's modular.
What's his name?
Fabrone.
Brother, I thought about you and you didn't even realize it. So he said he ain't got a shed or ain't got room in his garage, and the cart buddy looks like it'll only roll on concrete floor. Well, those are 3 true things. I've got a post mount model specifically made just for you. And the post mount is modular, meaning you get the way I made the mount to the post. It sandwiches to the post and you drill you a few holes in there. And you get all the hardware comes with this, the mountain hardware. You don't have to buy nothing. Everything's in the package, and you put the bolts in through the 2x4. All right. If you want to put it up for the winter, or because you definitely want to do that with a post mount, especially if you live in a place that is prone to any type of freezing whatsoever. Warranty don't cover frozen pumps. I want to make sure you know that. Or busted spray hose because the water froze inside the hose. Warranty don't cover that. You can, in a matter of, you unhook the hose from the hose reel, and in a matter of 60 seconds, maybe, I can take the post mount off the post and go put it up inside my house where it's safe and warm.
Steve Cram says, hey Pete, is there any way to adapt the spray buddy to be installed in line with a residential irrigation system?
Steve asking you adapt the spray buddy to be adapted to in line to an irrigation system. It's not an injector system. Steve, I think if I were you, Brad can comment on this. Brad has one of the greatest injection systems I've ever laid my eyes on. And when we build our new house and when we do my irrigation system at my new house, I'm going to have that exact same thing Brad has because it's bad to the bone. You need, if you want something to inject into your irrigation system, like an underground legit Toro irrigation system, Hunter, whatever, you need to get a legit injection system. That's my advice.
Skylar said, how about winterizing for us northern folks?
Winterizing. There's a couple options. Number one, you in both circumstances, you drain the system. Okay. You would unhook the hose from the hose reel, and you would take the water hose let out in the spray hose let out in your driveway, turn the valve on the end of the spray hose and leave it laying, and take your air compressor on very low PSI, and you would blow the water out of the hose. Okay. Because we don't want any water in the hose. The pump is 100% modular, meaning you take 2 bolts off, quick disconnect the lines, and you take the pump inside your house where it's nice and cozy warm. So you've got the air is push the liquid out of your hose. There's no water in the tank. All your hoses are unhooked and drained, and your pump is inside the house where it's nice and cozy warm. That's one option to winterize. The second option, and that will take you about, to do that whole process would take you maybe 10 minutes at the most. Just depends on how quick your air pressure builds up in your air compressor. Second option is to do the same thing, blow everything out, leave the pump on, and put your little RV antifreeze in there. Turn the agitation on, let it agitate, get in the pump, pressurize the system, and take your spray hose and spray the RV antifreeze back into the tank, and it all circulates. It's inside the hose and everything, and you're good to go. I personally, and then in the springtime when it's time to go again, you pump the RV antifreeze back into the jug that you got it out of. Personally, I recommend version 1. That's what I would do. Of course, you'd want to clean the system really good with water if you went the RV antifreeze route. But I'm not a fan. I'm not as much of a fan as that
one. Tony Nichols said,
Tony,
Pete, congratulations on the new launch and the new property. Is your 3/8 hose proprietary to your system? Can any light 3/8 hose be used?
Tony asks, is my 3/8 hose proprietary to my system?
And can
any other 3/8 hose be? Once you buy it, it's yours. You put any 3/8 hose on as you want. I don't care. Spray hose is spray hose. There's different qualities and different grades, but at the end of the day, if you got a 3/8 spray hose you'd rather use than the one that comes on the hose reel, then by all means, stick it on there. I don't care. It's your sprayer at that point.
Tony Alada says, does the hose retract automatically?
The hose does not retract automatically. It is a manual wind. When you get into electrically powered hose reels, the price goes way up. It doubles and triples in a lot of cases. So that is why it's a manual. And again, That's all about hose management and how when you get done spraying your yard and you got 200 foot of hose out and you get the hose back to you right in front of you at where you decide to mount the thing, instead of don't leave the hose strung out in the yard and fight it trying to pull all that weight in at one time. You bring the hose to where you're at, drop it in the garage, and that joker winds up like butter.
Tyler Fawcett says, with the spray buddy, how many gallons per minute do you need to operate it?
With the spray buddy, how many gallons per minute do you need to operate it? So the pump is capable of 5.3 gallon per minute, 100 psi. You don't when you're spraying under a load and the system is pressurized and you're using a spray nozzle, you're only using 20 to 30 psi. That's it. It don't take any more than that to make the system function as it should. It's not a high pressure spray system. As far as a gallon per minute, we don't calibrate gallon per minute. That means that a gallon per minute simply tells me what the pump is capable of doing. And most of the pumps are open-ended, meaning they don't put, if I've got a 5 gallon a minute pump, it might do 5 gallon a minute with a piece of hose on it that long. But if I've got a 200 foot long hose that's 3/8, I may only be getting 2 gallons a minute at the end of the spray hose because of the friction inside the hose and the diameter of the hose. So that's why I've never calibrated per minute. It's always per 1,000.
Rapid Market said, I've watched your other videos about Spray Buddy and I'm still not sure what it is other than a spray boom or something like that.
Okay. Spray Market, I want you Rapid Market, I want you to go to my website, GCIturfacademy.com. I want you to scroll down just a little bit and click on that little Spray Buddy button. And I want you to click on one. I want you to physically look at it and you'll see exactly what it is. It ain't a spray boom. A spray boom is a way you would utilize the system and spray your grass. It's just an attachment that would be used in spraying. No different than a Chemlon gun. No different than my GCI wide spray nozzle, which, by the way, I'm going to plug it right here. It's full stainless steel. Got the cool GCI logo on it. The quick disconnect is molded into the stainless steel. It's off the hook. It works phenomenally with the Spray Buddy. But all those things are spray apparatuses that you use to spray. The Spray Buddy is not a spray boom. I want you to go to the website and look at it, and you'll get a real good idea of what it is.
David Wecker said, is it one pump split for agitation and spray or separate dedicated pumps?
That's a great question, David. He said, is it one pump split for agitation and one pump for spray? It's one pump that when you dial the pressure completely off, you have full agitation, meaning the liquid's coming out of the tank through the filter into the pump, directly back into the tank through the adductor agitation system. Full, and it rolls it. It rolls the water. Hopefully you can see that, David. That's what it looks like agitating on full agitation mode. It is rolling it. When you pressurize the system and you're in your yard walking, spraying, it's still agitated because you're not utilizing the full PSI of the pump to the end of the spray gun. So the excess pressure has to go somewhere. So it's agitating in the tank as you're spraying at the same time.
Will there be a tankless option? Bring your own tank model.
Bring your own tank model.
Saying, can he use his own tank?
Can you use your own tank and buy everything? But absolutely, that falls into the previous question about financing and stuff. we're not doing financing, but I will in the very, very near future, like within a couple of weeks, have individual components for sale on the website. So if you got your own tank and you want the pump and agitation and hose reel, then you absolutely, you can just buy that and use your own tank. But if you went that way, I'm not questioning your ability. I would want to email you about that, and because I don't want you to wait. I don't want you to spend money you don't have to. That's what it boils down to. I want you to make sure you get the right thing that will work with your tank. And my setup may not work with your tank. See what I'm saying?
Will the Spray Buddy hose be offered, sold separately, and can it be used for other applications?
The Spray Buddy hose can be used anywhere you're at 350 psi or less. It can be used with any pump 300 psi or less. I might sell the spray hose by itself. Maybe. Because I don't know. That's a little bit of a liability. You got 300 psi hose, and somebody says, "Oh, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. I'm gonna hook it up to this pump that does 550 psi, and the hose blows up. I don't want that blood on my hands."
Thomas Simpson said, "How durable are the components for outdoor post mount setup in North Carolina?"
How durable are the outdoor post mounts set up in North Carolina? Made in America, okay? And they're durable. Everything that I went through to get these components, they're everything's top of the line, as good as it can get, while keeping the price point at where I was. Obviously, I could have built something that cost $10,000 and you could have thrown it off a cliff and it wouldn't break, but nobody would buy it. I had to make it as good and as strong as I could, all while keeping the price as low as I possibly could, so people would buy the things. It's a lot of weighing out right there. I will say this about the post mount. If you get a post mount, I personally, the one at the shop, I put a tarp over it. Every time I get done using it, it gets a tarp over it and I bungee wrap it. Over the winter, we are going to have a waterproof, UV proof, whatever proof, wind proof, zip up, what do you call this? Cover. A cover with a GCI logo on it. And for hunters, another reason I've done the post mount is for hunters that have food plots deep in the woods and you need to fertilize your food plot. We're going to have a camouflage cover. That way you can camo it, and that turkey at Longbeard or that buck can't see the sprayer over there and you can still take him out.
Is there a filter at the top like a backpack sprayer has?
No, the filter is connected to the bottom side of the pump and is very, very easily accessible. It's right there, front and center. You hold the body and you unscrew the lid while you have a measuring cup up under it. It is just stupid easy to get to. It's way easier to get to this filter than it is on any backpack sprayer.
Can the Spray Buddy be used with an average battery backpack sprayer? Okay, that's been answered.
All right. Another question about a backpack sprayer. Folks, this ain't a backpack sprayer. It ain't got nothing to do with a backpack sprayer. It replaces your backpack sprayer. It is a higher volume, much bigger pump, much better made, higher quality spray system that you don't need to use your backpack sprayer anymore unless you want to. But like I said, we got the Mix Buddy. If you don't want to do a full blown Spray Buddy, you get the Mix Buddy, and you can pre-mix stuff to go in your backpack and set your backpack up under it, turn a valve, fill up your backpack sprayer, go spray, come back, fill it up again. And you ain't got to spend time mixing over and over and over. On the Spray Buddy, the actual Spray Buddy, 5, 10, 15 gallon, I do have an option coming to where you can reconfigure the valves at the bottom of the Spray Buddy. And let's just say you don't need the Spray Buddy. I got 6 weeds in the yard. I need to mix a gallon of stuff. I'm just going to throw my backpack sprayer on and go do it. Obviously, you can mix that gallon in your backpack and go do your business and be done. Or you can mix it in the spray buddy, and even on the spray buddy will have the valve configuration to where you can mix it in the spray buddy and then empty it out into your backpack sprayer and go spray. But yeah, I don't know that that's going to be a super popular item, because what's the difference in mixing it in that and mixing a gallon in a backpack sprayer?
Akeem said, are the different size tanks much different in physical size? The 10, 15, and 20 gallon. Thinking of attaching it inside my garage.
All right, the 10, 15, and 20 gallon. The 15 out of the 5, 10, and 15, the frame and physical size of the frame, pump, hose reel mount are identical. The 5, 10, and 15 actually use the exact same mount by intention, by design, so we didn't have to make 3 different mounts. We could just make one mount and fit them all. The 15 gallon is 16 inches wide. It'll come 16 inches off of your wall, and from the top of the hose reel to the bottom of the tank is roughly 36-ish inches. Mike, you might can comment on that. You got one you could run out to your garage and measure it. So 16 by 16 by 36 inches tall, roughly. The 20 gallon diameter, 20 gallon version, the wall mount spray buddy 20 gallon, the legs are 16 inches tall, and the tank is roughly 16 inches tall, so roughly 32 inches off the ground. And then you would have about a foot or so between that and the hose reel, and then the hose reel is about 12 inches tall, roughly. So 48 inches from ground level to the top of the hose reel, give or take a little bit.
Oh, you're still talking? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
This guy had a good point. He said people are confused because when you showed the injector, you called it the spray buddy.
All right, let me clear that up real quick. The injection system. The question was, people were confused because I called spray buddy injector.
Yeah, he's making a point.
That's a good point. Let me clear this up. 3 or 4 years ago, when I started talking spray buddy, this 3 or 4 years ago. And by the way, the patent is I'm still waiting on the dang government to get my patent finished. That was the injector system. The thing you see on the website right now, the GCI injection, that's what I was calling spray buddy 3 or 4 years ago. All right. In the past 3 or 4 years, my mind has changed that I don't want to call it that anymore, because I had a different idea. The spray buddy you see on the wall now, the big spray system that we're having this video chat about, I changed the names of them. So I changed the original spray buddy name to GCI turf injection, and I took the original spray buddy name and I tagged it to what we're talking about right now. So all I did was flop the names of them. That's all it was.
Patrick Carter said, could the spray buddy be used in place of a skid sprayer for a small business with a small number of customers, or is this strictly for homeowner use?
Good question. Who asked that?
Patrick Carter.
Patrick, great question. Can the spray buddy be used for a small business with a limited amount of customers, or is it limited to homeowners only? You dang right it can. And I had you on my mind too, because I cannot tell you the amount of business owners I've gotten emails from saying that they spray dozens and dozens of yards a year with a dang backpack sprayer. And I'm like, what are y'all thinking? I understand you got to start somewhere. I get it. I've been there, done that. I started myself pumping a backpack sprayer walking yards. But at some point, you got to graduate in your company and go get a big boy toy. At some point, you got to do it to be more efficient, to make more money, to be more profitable, blah, 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 blah. With that said, there's still companies that are kind of on that line. What's wrong with you? There's still companies on the line that maybe they can't afford a full grown $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 skid sprayer. I get it 100%. The spray buddy will take the place, not take the place. The spray buddy will fill that gap, meaning between a backpack sprayer and a full-blown skid sprayer for the small lawn care company. And what I mean is you probably need to wait and get the 50-gallon model, because the 50-gallon model will fit right in the bed of your pickup truck. And if you spread a gallon per 1,000, that's 50,000 square foot yards. And if you're spraying a bunch of cookie cutter yards, you can fill up one time, go spray all day. And that particular model that will go in the bed of your pickup truck, or go in the bed of a John Deere Gator, or whatever that thing that other guy has, a mule, something mule, like a Kubota mule or whatever they call it, UTV, they will all be, what's battery? What's a car battery? AC, whatever a car battery is, where you hook the little clamps to your battery, that'll be that version. So yes, it's coming. Be patient with me. It's coming, and it will work for a small time lawn care company.
Ocean Nut said, I heard you mention a mower mount option. Will it be post cut and able to spray deck width after cutting? Basically being able to cut and spray in one pass.
Okay, he wants to know, will the ride-on mower be able to cut and spray in one pass? Okay, let me be straightforward. Why? Why the heck do you want to do that, man? Do you realize the room? And I'm not picking on you. I'm trying to be straightforward with you. Do you realize the room for error that you have when you're trying to mow grass and spray grass at the same time? I've been doing this 20 years, and I'm humbly saying this. I can spray and mow with anybody in this country, and you would never catch me doing that. Never. It just ain't gonna happen. But the option to mount it to a mower is coming over winter. And once you get the thing, you spray with it however the heck you want to. But I personally would not try and mow and spray grass at the same time.
G Grip said, can the pump be changed out separately from the rest of the machine?
Can the pump be changed out separately from the rest of the machine? The pump is quick disconnect. 2 bolts, 2 nuts, matter of fact, stainless steel. All the hardware is stainless steel. All the mounting hardware is stainless, and then the actual mounts itself are made of aluminum.
David said, is the pump a standard size or proprietary?
Is the standard size proprietary?
Is the pump a standard size or proprietary?
Yes, there's one pump for all Spray Buddy models, and that's a battery powered, and then obviously the 110 volt is coming in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Any recommendation on storage for those who live in the north of the transition zone?
All right, storage for north of the transition zone. Again, blow out all the hoses. You can disconnect the pump, put it in your closet, and leave it on the wall, or you can put RV antifreeze and run it through. I had a detailed explanation of that earlier in the video. Scroll through and find out.
I think you answered this. What's the reason behind not offering 250 foot hose on the 15-gallon post mount?
All right, say that one more time.
What is the reason behind not offering 250 feet of hose on the 15-gallon?
All right, what is the reason for not offering 250 foot of spray hose on the 15-gallon post mount? Reason for that is that's heavy, and once somebody buys something, obviously it's theirs. They can mount the thing, do as they want to. But if you got 250 foot of hose and you have that pulled all the way out, and if for whatever reason you don't get the hose back to the hose reel and wind it in where it's easy, and you got all that tension pulling against the post mount, man, it's just too much hose and too heavy of a hose reel to put on a little 4x4 post, in my opinion. With that said, now that you said that, I'll probably come out with a 6x6 post mount, and it'll be specifically for the 15-gallon. Matter of fact, I'll even do the 15-gallon and 20-gallon on a 6x6 post mount with the bigger hose reel and the larger hose. But give me a little time. I got to come up with that.
AJ said, will a 15-gallon be available in a cart model?
Will 15-gallon be available in a cart model? No, sir, it won't. And here's why. Out here on my carport, I've got a 15-gallon cart buddy. that I designed the frame and all that, and the 15-gallon mounts and hose reel mounts. But in order to make that frame, the frame for a 15-gallon cart buddy costs double what the frame for the 20-gallon cart buddy costs, because they couldn't bend it and shape it with machines. There had to be a lot of manual cuts and a lot of welding. And anytime you get into that, you run the price up. And so the 15-gallon cart cost me double as the 20-gallon cart. So if you wanted a 15-gallon cart model, you might as well look at the 20-gallon cart buddy, because the literally the 15, if I would have made a 15-gallon and pursued that, it would have cost more than the 20-gallon. And it just, in people's mind, they're like, well, how come the 15-gallon costs more than a 20-gallon? That's the way folks, see things. And I didn't want to go down that road. It's a money thing. It costs too much to make it.
Tyler said, does a reservoir tank have a fuel port? It looks like it does on Michael's Insta video, but it doesn't look the same on the GCI website.
Yes, all of them have a fill port. He asked, does the tanks have a fill port? And yeah, with a lid. The 5, 10, and 15-gallon have a 8-inch lid, 8 inches. You can't miss it, and plenty of room to pour it in. The 20-gallon has it's either a 5 or a 6-inch lid on the 20-gallon. Why the manufacturer don't put a bigger lid on the 20? I don't know. I didn't manufacture the thing, so I can't speak for them. But both models, I haven't spilled the drop yet. They're both models are bigger than a backpack sprayer lid opening.
Will you do in-person training with the spray buddy?
Will I do in-person training with a spray buddy? I tell you what, brother. I don't know who said that. Tyler Fawcett. If you come to my shop and you line it up, I'll show you how to operate it. I got prototypes all over the shop, and we'll pull one out there, and I will go over the whole thing with you. But you got to come to my shop. I ain't got time to go nowhere else.
This is just that Rapid Market said, why should I buy the spray buddy versus just spraying my trusty old backpack sprayer in Ortho? Not sure about paying exponentially more for something that just so it gets agitated and comes out a little quick.
All right, so the gentleman said, why should I buy the spray buddy when he can just mix up his backpack sprayer and his Ortho, when all the spray buddy does is cost more and agitate? Don't buy it. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you, brother. And I'm not being mean when I say that. I'm saying, if it don't fit you, don't buy it. If I go down here to the store and I see something and I don't want to buy it, I'm just not going to buy it. So it's not going to be for every person on the face of the planet. It's for people who have that passion. That's why I created the spray buddy, is due to my passion. And for lawn care spray equipment, micro, little tiny subject, spray equipment, my passion. I made it for people who have that same passion I have and want to spray high volume, want to walk out in the garage and say, show his buddies, that's my spray buddy over there. That's my commercial sprayer on the wall. That's what I made it for. I didn't make it for people that want to keep spraying with the Ortho and you back. I respect you 100%. Keep spraying like you want to spray.
He also asked, could he wear the spray buddy like a backpack sprayer?
Can you wear the spray buddy like a backpack sprayer? Okay. I don't know how big of a fella you are, but it's a 15-gallon tank. If you want to strap that joker to your back and take off, by all means, strap it to your back and take off.
And he said, fair enough.
But I'm not going to tote 15 gallons around the yard. You can forget that was the whole purpose. I don't even want to tote 4 gallons around the yard. Why am I going to tote 15?
I don't see anymore.
All right. Is that it?
I think so. Everybody thanks everybody for praying. Lots of people said they're praying for Jackson.
Pray for Jay. Pray for him. He's to date, what number is this? 20.
24.
I think this is his 24th surgery.
He's probably asleep.
I think this is his 24th surgery. We've noticed a little bit that it's on his mind a little bit more than it hasn't been in the past. I think that's because he's getting a little older, and he thinks about a surgery in a little bit different way. Have you kind of noticed that a little bit? Kind of like when we talk about it, he starts getting all teary-eyed and stuff like that. It's almost like it's kind of bugging him a little bit, maybe. But mom and dad is tough. He's tough. He's the toughest young man that I know. I don't know of another human being as tough as him. And we serve a king that is amazing. I serve a king that is amazing. And he has provided Jax every single step of the way. And this surgery ain't going to be no different. We're going to go in there and we're going to pray over him. And Jax is going to knock it out of the park. And you folks are going to be praying. And we feel that. We feel the Holy Spirit with us when we're up there. And it's a comforting, I got this feeling. And God didn't let us down yet, and he's not going to let us down. So thank you guys for your prayers. We serve an amazing God who provides, when you honor and you trust him and you put your faith in him, he gives you the desires of your heart. And that desire he gives you is to honor him. And that's what life is about. So hallelujah to the Lamb. Whew, boy, don't get me. I'll start preaching up in this joke. All right, 10:43. I'm gonna give you 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Any last question, and we're gonna get out of here.
John Allred said, "Is there anything in plans to prevent UV damage to the post mounts?"
Anything to do to prevent UV damage to the post mount? John, I went over this earlier. This winter, we're going to have a cover made, a zip up cover that will wrap around the post mount. You zip it up. But that's this winter. I just ain't got time to fool with it right now. It'll be UV, wind, rain repellent, and all that stuff. For the time being, my recommendation for the post mount would be to buy like an 8x8 or maybe a 10x10, 10x10 high quality cart. Gosh, I'm not thinking right. Tarp, not a cart, buy a tarp and enclose your spray buddy with that and take some bungee cords and bungee it up. That's what I would do in the time being.
And Neil said, "Can you use quick connects to extend the hose past 200 feet?"
No, do not. I will strongly and firmly and will void your warranty if you buy one that say has the 200-foot hose and you quick connect some longer hose to it. And if we find out about it, I'm going to respectfully void your warranty because it's not designed to do that. You just, like I said, if you need longer hose, then you either need to wait until we get the bigger hose reel where we can get more half-inch hose on the reel, which I think the bigger hose reel will hold 300 foot a half-inch on the 50-gallon model. You need to wait for that or get the 3/8 hose with 250 foot of hose.
Last one, Akeem wants to know, will you do videos demonstrating how to calibrate this spray buddy?
Oh, brother, I got so many videos. I've already filmed like 3 videos using it. Saturday morning, a video will post on me spraying my Bermuda. And then, yes, I'll go into full detail on calibration and all that kind of stuff. But you calibrate just like you calibrate anything else. Brooke, I saw your question. Jax has surgery Friday. Yes, surgery Friday. We're going to leave tomorrow. All right. Guys, I've had a blast. This is my passion. I love this. I've been so eager and so impatient to finally drop this thing on y'all. And I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to make countless videos on it. So, I'm not an impulse kind of guy. If you're on the fence and you're like, man, I like that thing, but I don't know about it, do not buy it. Wait, be patient. Let me show you more videos on it, show you the use, show you how effective it is. Don't just say I'm gonna buy the thing because Pete made it. I don't want your business if you're like that. But what?
Michael said, talk about the extra option to fill the tank through the bulkhead. That somebody was asking about that because it's on his already.
Okay. All right. One more thing before I'm gonna go. Don't buy the thing. Don't impulse buy. Is what I'm trying to get at. I don't want you that kind of business. I want you to make a smart, wise decision with your finances. So wait and be patient. Give me time to put more videos out on it so you can learn it, explore it, check it out, and then you can make a wise decision whether or not it's for you or not. Guy asked, why does Mike have a separate bulkhead on his tank? That is another option that all I'm waiting on is a handful of parts to come in, and that will be like an add-on. And if I'm looking at the spray buddy on the wall, the bulkhead on the left is the agitation. That's what puts the material back into the tank. Okay. There's another bulkhead option that will be on the right, and that will have quick disconnects where you just hook your hose pipe up, your garden hose. And that way you don't have to stand there and hold the water hose and fill it up. You just turn a valve on that's hooked to your garden hose and it fills the thing up. Just more little efficiency type things. So, okay. All right. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to go pack and get ready to go to Philadelphia in the morning. I'll make some posts and keep everybody updated on Jax.
Maybe
And
we can get Jax to vlog.
maybe we'll get Jax to vlog.
That would be so cool. He'll do it.
I bet you I'll talk him into it. I'll take one of my little GoPro cameras and I'll get Jax to do a vlog about his surgery. And then
walk everybody
through each step, and then I'll edit it. And dude, that'd be cool. He'd probably like it. It'd take a little bit of it'll take a little bit of the nerves off too.
Cameras and YouTube and stuff.
All right, David. Appreciate them prayers. I'll see y'all later. Thank y'all. Appreciate you.
Man, that went well. It got up to like 268, 70 something.